Well, welcome back to the Frugal Gardener's Gardening Channel. I'm the Frugal Gardener. I garden in Zone 7A in West Virginia, and this is another episode of Gardening Over 40. I'm back on my normal Tuesday schedule again. Things have been a bit hectic around here over the past couple of weeks, and I'm trying to get back on schedule. I am uh, in the process of getting a couple things caught up, so excuse the mess. This is a long overdue video, and this was a request by my buddy and subscriber Keisha H in North Carolina, and I suggest you check out her channel. Um, she requested information on grow lights, which I should have done forever ago, but here we are, better late than never. This is for those of you who have found this a bit overwhelming, which is very easy to do because there are probably over 100 different types. Now, stick with me because I'm going to try and break this down in a way that is going to make life a little bit easier for you guys. Um, in most cases, people use grow lights for three different reasons. They use them for starters, they use them for hydroponics, like you see here, and they use them to maintain plants that they have in the wintertime that you're not going to get that much sun, and definitely not going to get that much heat being outside in the winter like you have here. Now, this can be a bit daunting, especially if this is your first time using them or if you're about to make a purchase on them. This is a little light show. These two guys here are lights that I recommend that you do not purchase. These belong in the museum. These are what I call antiquated. I've been using grow lights for over 20 years, and these were some of the first ones that I purchased. Now, technically, there's nothing wrong with using these, but the problem is you don't get versatility because you plug it in, that's it. What you see is what you get. You don't get any options. When you move on to these others, like this one here, you can set the timer, you can set the brightness, and that's these two guys here. Before you make a decision, the first thing you need to do is decide how much space you have. Because if you look at the way these guys are spread out here and the height, some of these can go up to 4 or 5 feet and they spread out pretty good. If you have a limited amount of space, then you don't want to get anything that's going to be it's going to take up a lot of room. This is one of my favorites. These guys here are extremely portable. My nephew is growing mint, and he just got one of these a month or two ago, and it's working out well for him. You can stick these in. These have those telescopic lenses. This actually goes up a lot higher than what you see here. You can actually take these out and open them up. I'm not gonna open this, but this goes maybe about 4 feet, 3 feet. So this is adjustable, and it concentrates clearly on what you want to grow. If you are growing starters, you want to keep that light as close to the plant as possible. I mean, really close. I'm talking about inches away. This is something that I just started the other day, and as it grows, this was used. This was a starter using this light here. and you can see how much it's worked out. Now, look at the types. I put this out here deliberately because these are tomato plants, and look at the different type of lights you have here. This is here and here. These are adjustable, but I like these because you can concentrate on separate individual plants. Here's how it looks from above. Now, this one over here is if you have, well, I mean, you can see I have several plants. Some of these aren't doing so hot because I haven't been keeping up with them. But this is something that you can move these around. If you look in here real close, you can raise these, you can turn these, and they're also adaptable. That's the other thing you want to look at. You want to look at adaptability. You want to be able to set these and forget them. They're timers. Here's another example. You can set these for up to 12 hours. I recently had to go to Philly. I didn't have to worry about this. I just made sure everything was watered. Timers were set. They came on when they were supposed to and went off when they were supposed to. Here's another thing that you want to keep in mind. When you are just maintaining the growth, I'm just marking time with these. I'm just keeping these until it gets warm enough for me to transfer these. These are tomatoes, well, cherry tomatoes to be precise. And these are going to go outside. But clearly, they can't go outside now. It was nice for a while. It was actually in the 70s. I think I went to 80 one day. But now, last night, it was down in the 20s. So you understand how that works. These are going to stay under these lamps 6 to 8 hours a day because I'm just basically mimicking the sun. I'm just basically trying to maintain what you would have if you were outside. Now, over here, when you look at the hydroponics, this is generally, I let these go for 16 hours a day. So you see the difference. So one is roughly 6 hours a day. This is 16 hours a day. Starters, I usually do a minimum of 12 to 14 hours a day. So that's not a hard and fast rule, but basically, if you're going to do hydroponics, I would say you don't want to do any less than 16 hours a day. If you're going to do just keeping up with what you have that mimics the sun, well, how many hours of sun do you get? You get about 6 to 8 hours of sun a day. So again, that's a no-brainer. But now, here's another source of confusion that we're going to clear up right now. You run into these different types of bulbs, these different types of lights. This is one that I used a while back. This is obviously a new one. This is the box it comes in. And this is super, super bright. I would not recommend that you use this out in an open area because it's going to light up the entire room. I basically built like a greenhouse. I took a box and I lined it with aluminum foil and I tried to mimic like the rainforest. Forgot what I was growing during that winter, but basically it's super bright and it's going to use more electricity. Here's all the information right here. If you decide to get this type, I think that this is something you should hold off on getting until you're more familiar with these guys here. I took this out because this is in the same category as these guys over here that I'm suggesting that you don't use because of the lack of versatility. This is not a grow light. This is actually a heat lamp. So when you see something like this and it's like a shiny red bulb, this is probably not what you want. So this is how it looks. They come in different sizes. People use these for chicken coops. They use these for various reasons in the wintertime. This gives off a lot of heat, and this is not what you want if you want to use a grow light. This is definitely not a grow light. This is, like I said, something that you might use for something specific in a specific room, in a specific area. So let's cover in between. This is the little mini job. These are the huge ones, the big ones that are adjustable. But how about this? If you don't have a lot of space, but you still want grow lights, this one clamps on. You clamp it onto the side of the table, and it works the same as these, except for they're not smaller. Smaller and less expensive. And again, here's a better look at what I was saying. You can see, you can brighten it, you can dim it, you can set a timer. So these guys have come a long way in the 20 years since I've been using them. So I'm not going to clamp this on the side of the table because I don't want to get anybody upset, but you get the picture. It's this is the box it comes in. This is a duplicate of this. Same thing, except for I'm showing you the actual box if you care to go out and purchase one of these things. Now the last thing, almost done, is these colors, these festive colors that you see. Each one of these colors, there's a reason for. I mean, the red is for flowering and fruit production. The green is for photosynthesis. The blue is for leaf and stem development. And the red and purple combined is for flowers and vegetable growth. And you'll see those under most of these. There are different variations of these colors. And in some cases, you can control them yourself. So the last little tip that I'm going to give you guys is cheat a little bit. I have a window right here. So I have this timer set for this particular group of hydroponic plants, which is off now because I needed to use the electric. Trust me, this is not my normal setup. I drug most of this stuff in here so that I could show it to you in one place, but this is really in 3 different rooms. But my point is this: if you can use the sun, I know this is a south-facing window. I know I'm going to get this time of year at least 5 hours, maybe 6 hours of sun. So if you want to save some electricity, if you want to let Mother Nature do some of the work, if you can possibly arrange your plants to where they're going to get a few hours of sun during the day, then when you set your timer, you don't have to use as much electricity. You can set it for, 6 hours or 4 hours or wherever you want to set it for, minus the amount of sunlight rather, that you're going to get. So I hope that this covers all your questions. If it doesn't, then you know what the comment box is for. Put your questions down there, and I think I pretty much covered everything. And I hope you guys will use this now to plant your starters. I don't know how many people are going to start hydroponics going into the spring, but if you have plants that are already growing, or if you are getting ready for spring, now is the time to get your starters. Remember, you put them close, and make sure that you keep those starters moist, because When that light is shining down on your plants, they're going to dry out pretty quickly. So that's it for today. I have 2 more videos that I'm working on, and I will probably drop one on Friday or Saturday and the other one next Tuesday. So please subscribe. Do me a favor and send these videos to your friends or repost them. I appreciate it. I'm the Frugal Gardener. I hope you guys enjoy your day. Remember what I always tell you. When you grow your own food, you will always know where it comes from. Catch you guys on the next video in a few days.